really don't know what to expect from it. You don't see many Christian films, so I'm really excited to see how he can take the Bible from an old context into like a new context, kind of like how Sherlock Holmes did it. So yeah, I'm really excited.
I love the production value of it, because with Christian films a lot of the times you get this really great intention but such a terrible execution, and this is absolutely the pinnacle of both.
You know, with a biblical aspect to it, I'm really looking forward to it. I've always wanted to, every movie that Paul makes I enjoy watching, so I'm looking forward to it tonight. I know it's going to be good.
There's so much of it that I'm looking forward to, like especially the Testament sections itself. There was such a joy to work with Paul and everyone for those 2 weeks, and yeah, it was incredible to meet them all for that. So yeah.
Because from everything that's been released online, from everything that I've seen so far, it is one of the most incredible blendings of both the filmography of it, the absolute beauty of that, and then the acting is amazing, and then the actual story is a really cool reimagining, so that you actually get to have some of those biblical concepts and the biblical idea, but you also get to have it in this amazing format because they've gone all out on every level of it. So I'm really excited for that.
It was just the whole kind of the modern day setup of it, and this how it relates to nowadays times. So yeah, it's something I'm looking forward to see.
Well, I have had a sneak preview and it is incredible. The only bits I haven't seen are the final bits with the CGI and everything else coming on. But actually, I'm so looking forward to it. It's been really exciting. Right from parables retold, put it all together, it's just incredible.
I did see the trailer at our church, and I thought, this looks really, really good. So I thought, yeah, I've got to watch it,
I mean, the trailer itself is, I've seen some of the shorts, and so my expectations are very high from the combination of the shorts and the trailer, so I want to see them strung all together, and I think that's what I'm most excited for, to see how they put it all together and how it comes out in the end.
Oh, just the energy. It was the energy in the trailer. And I think that when I actually got my sneak preview, I was just amazed that the energy is sustained all the way through the film. It's just really great.
I'm here to watch the movie and I'm here to enjoy.
In case you don't know me, I'm Paul. So if you wouldn't mind turning your phones off, putting them on silent, and please enjoy our presentation of Testament.
I don't know what I'm doing here. I came all this way with Paul for him to get himself arrested.
And you are?
Luke.
You a Dr. Luke?
He's also a writer.
Did Jesus like telling stories?
He told loads of stories. He talked like that all the time.
But why?
There was once a sower.
There was one young woman who thought the very same.
Once a man on a certain journey.
Found the treasure of the great maestro and the 3 talented students.
We need to keep the city safe.
James is getting worried.
Understandably.
Run!
Luke, come on!
We waited for you for 4 days and you never came.
Our nets will be his story.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Testament live stream. This is our 4th live stream now. My name is Paul Serstad. I'm the creator and director of Testament. And the title of our live stream today, the question that is on everybody's proverbial lips is, wasn't this a movie? That's what we're going to be talking about today, about the journey of Testament, where we began in the humble beginnings and where we're looking forward to, hopefully the still humble onwards. But today we're going to be joined by two very special guests, which I'm very excited. We're going to be joined by the wonderful Kenneth Omole, who played John Mark in Testament, the movie, and also joined by Andy Toovey, who was our director of photography on the film as well. That's a picture of us three there, very focused on what we just recorded. And he did just tell me, saying that he thinks that's when he told us that he wasn't recording. But actually, I think he was just joking. So we're all right. But that's what we kind of got in line. We've also got some videos. Our little 5-minute countdown there was what people were looking forward to when we screened the premiere of our film in London's Leicester Square, which was a very exciting moment. It was a wonderful day. And later in the live stream, we're going to show you their responses when they came out of the film, what they thought. And then as well, we also filmed some biblical scholars and their take on the film, what they thought of it, what they took from it. And yeah, we just got loads for you today, really excited. But for now, I'd really love for you to let us know where you are tuning in from. Where are you watching from? Say hello in the live chat, say hello in the comments. It actually helps the algorithm on YouTube and on Facebook just to kind of get this video out to more and more people. Because, hey, we want to grow our Testament family, we want to grow our network, and this is a show that we want to make together. So for more information, you can head over to angel.com/testament. And right now we're gauging interest in potentially opening up an investment round where people would be able to invest in the series and in the film that we've already made. And then we'll be using that investment to film season 1. So that's what it's all about. But you can find out way more at angel.com/testament. For now, I think before we answer any of these burning questions of wasn't this a movie? Yes, it is, but wait, there's more. I'd love to share with you a short video that is from the film. It's taken from kind of chapter 2 of the film. I've split it into chapters. That journeys with some of the main characters as they enter the council and they enter the, you know what, I'm going to stop talking. Enjoy this short clip from Testament, the movie.
Are you all right?
I'm not used to all this running and hiding. It puts me on edge.
Did you enjoy the meeting, though?
Yeah, it was good. And nice of you to include that story for the children at the end.
No, actually, that was more for the adults in the room.
Really?
Yeah. What did you make of it?
Well, it was the sowing. Mm-hmm. And the seeds?
The sowing of the... You didn't understand it?
No, I didn't.
That's okay. To be honest, we didn't understand it the first time you told it. No, he had to explain it to us afterwards in private.
So wait, Jesus would tell this story to everyone?
Oh, he told loads of stories. He talked like that all the time. He'd leave half of his listeners baffled, enrage the ministers, and then leave us to figure out what those stories meant.
But why?
Why what?
But why teach with stories? Doesn't that make everything confusing?
I mean, you should know, right? That's what you're doing, writing his story.
No. This is for a friend back home. A report, more of a report. Words, the facts.
Okay, can I give you some advice? Facts are good. And words, they can impact a moment. But a story, a really good story, that can change a life. Come on, it's just a bit further. Way.
Truth.
Life.
You have a warehouse? How?
Generous donation from the Barnabas family. Have you met James before?
As in Jesus' brother? Yeah, briefly when we first arrived.
They're all waiting in the council room. James is getting worried.
Understandably.
Hi there.
Zach, Luke, good to meet you.
Just through there.
Should I?
Yes!
they managed to evacuate before the guards got there.
What about Ben's gathering?
No word yet.
Mary, glad to see you're okay.
Any news on what happened today?
I'm still trying to get a full picture, but they hit us hard. 4 safe houses breached and over 20 arrested.
We've lost the majority of the food banks in the city centre.
Why now?
We're still riled up from Paul's antics at the temple.
No, that was days ago.
Truth is, we don't know. Our contacts at the Ministerial Council aren't responding. Everything seems to be in some kind of lockdown.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Unless Paul's given us up.
He would never do that.
Wouldn't be surprising, would it? Given his history.
Deborah, bringing up people's
James,
history.
the last time Paul was here, in this very room, he almost split the church. I'm sorry, but I still don't trust the light.
It wasn't him.
And you are?
Sorry. Hi.
We've met. You travelled with Paul, came with him to the capital last week.
Luke.
That's right.
Of course he's going to say
Deborah, please. Well, do you know what's going on?
Maybe. When I was hiding, I heard some of the temple guards talking. It sounded like they were searching for someone in particular. The fisherman.
Clear. It's empty. They knew we'd come here.
No sign of the fisherman, sir. He's not here.
Move on. We keep looking. He can't have gone far.
If he's here, we need to know. Mary, make contact with the remaining safe houses, see if they know anything, find him.
Do you want to come with?
You'll stay here, Luke.
Yeah, I'll see you again, yeah? God willing. Take care. James, keep it up. Don't forget to eat.
Deborah, you and I need to go over strategy for replenishing food supply. David, you're on lookout tonight. And Luke, welcome. Zach will show you where you're staying. Try and get a few hours of sleep. You never know what God has planned for tomorrow.
I don't know what I'm doing. Everyone here seems so confident.
Hey guys, welcome back. That was a short little clip from our film that we made, and I'm just going to have a look here because what I love about doing these live streams, and so we're here based in London in the UK, and what I love is that people are tuning in from all over. We have people from Las Vegas, Ben, hello, Lynn from Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Maggie, Brooklyn, New York, Lady Marie. This is awesome. North Carolina, Sheila. That's really, I just love that. Check in, yeah, we can see them on the screen as well. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I know a lot of you found it from the email from Angel. Really glad that you're joining us here today. And before I bring on my guests, I think what might be a good thing to kind of talk through is a little bit of the journey, how this all came about. And if you have any questions during any of the live stream, do pop them in the chat, because at the end of the live stream, I'm going to do my best to answer as many as possible. Kenneth and Andy as well, if you have questions for them, do ask there. And again, if you want anything more, if you want to express your interest in the series, that's what we're trying to do, gauging your interest and expressing interest, head over to angel.com/testament, where you can do just that. Because hopefully soon we may be opening an investment round, and we'd love for you guys to be a part of that. So head over there and you can know all about that. But a little bit about the journey of how this began, because Testament, what we're crowdfunding for, doing our crowdfund for soon, will be for the series of Testament, which is going to be like an alternate modern day retelling of the Book of Acts. And you can find out a little bit more about why and my heart for that over at angel.com/testament. But today, what the weird thing is of how we got there is most time when people approach Angel, they kind of approach them with a little pitch, a little short film, a little idea of 5 to 20 minute clip of kind of going, is this something that it might be interesting to the audience? And we kind of tested by a jury. But ours was a little bit different. We had made this full feature film already. And that was quite exciting. So we got to share that. And what's great is the jury from Angel loved it. And they're going to be our distributors. So I know some of you are asking, when can you see the film? And the answer, unfortunately, is not yet, but soon. We're still in discussions with Angel about when we're releasing the film globally. So we'll talk more about that later. I'm sure you'll have some more questions. But I'd like to take you back kind of to the beginning of how Testament the movie came about, how Testament the series came about, and a little bit. So I've got a little bit of a presentation for you, but you'll still be able to see my face, so hopefully you'll be engaged with this. So back in 2018, we actually made our first short film as Raw Light. That's our company, Raw Light, that made this parable retelling of the sower. And it was to try and connect audiences of going, hey, we're going to retell this parable to try and connect audiences to the meaning of it, to ask questions back to them, to see what we could stir up in others. And we gathered a really small team, actually some of Andy, who joined me on this film back in 2018. And we started to grow from there, like grassroots, really, I mean, super low budget, basically peanuts. I was even making sandwiches for the team. It was quite fun. But then in 2019, we did our second installment, and we did The Good Samaritan, retelling that parable in a very gritty, quite dangerous and challenging, provoking way. Then in 2019 was a good year because we got 2 done. We got to do The Hidden Treasure, a church up in Norfolk in Diss. Hosted us, and we got to do this whole film there in their magnificent fields, which was beautiful. In 2020, a friend of mine wrote the next of the series of The Talents, and that was a beautiful kind of interpretation of 3 pianists going out into the world. So we kind of took the word talents a little bit literally, a little bit differently to what it biblically means, but the spirit of the text is the same, about using what God has given you. And then finally, Faith wrote our last short film that we filmed in 2021. We wanted to do it in 2020, and actually wanted to do the feature in 2021, but obviously that little thing called COVID hit us in 2020, so we had to delay that. But thankfully, God was good and made a way for us to film in 2021. And so thus was born this series of short films that we call The Parables Retold. A series of short films that would retell the parables to modern audiences. And it's something that I'd love to continue. It's some, to carry those on. But I didn't really want to introduce ourselves, because we're in the UK and there's not really that many faith-based companies here creating faith-based media. So I wanted to see, how could we make a bit of an impact? How could we come out with a bit of a statement? Not just saying, oh, here's another short film, because people don't really engage with short films that well, at least not here. So I started thinking of a way of weaving these together. But first I had to just reorder the films to try and make a narrative a little bit clearer. So the chronology of the films that we see aren't the chronology of what we made them in. And then I started trying to think of what story could weave all of these together into one narrative. And I actually went through 2 different versions of this film. The first was Jesus' Perean ministry, traveling to Jerusalem as he told these stories. But it was a big task. I think that's a big weight. It was a huge cast, and really we're still kind of in those COVID precaution times. So we really wanted to try and be careful and just be safe. And so I then thought of a different version of the film, which would follow the character of Luke as he encountered the disciples of Jesus, learned about Jesus as a storyteller, and thus Testament, the Parables Retold, was born. So that's kind of how this was born. So the feature film that we keep talking about is a really strange one, because it's an anthology feature film. It has this main narrative that goes throughout, but at the same time has these interweaving short films within it, which informs Luke as he kind of finds his calling to be a writer. So it is a very different short film, different feature film, but one that we're incredibly proud of. And so when this feature film was kind of put out there, and we sent it over to Angel and some other distributors, it turns out everyone loved it, and everyone was like, yeah, we really want to see this. But there's a few people who actually was like, have you ever thought about taking this further? Have you ever thought about retelling the Book of Acts as a series, and we thought, boy, have we ever. Of course, that would be a dream come true. And of course, what's great about the Angel's model is it puts the power in your hands, the viewer's hands, the audience's hands, and you are able to make this happen by expressing interest and by investing. So that's what this is all about. So what we're now working on, the series of Testament in the series of Testament in 5 seasons. It's early days. We're still very, very early, but this would be Testament, the series, as told within 5 seasons. Obviously, very generic images there because we don't want to give much away. Spoilers can be found in the Book of Acts if you really need them. But that's a little bit of how we kind of are moving forward and how we're looking at it. But of course, we do have this film, which we love talking about, and I know people want to see it. And I'm sorry you can't see it yet. I have to say, there's this strange little thing that I'm a bit grinning behind closed doors, because usually when films in America get made, they're never shown here in the UK. We never have them distributed here, and we're like, oh, why can't we see them? So I have to say, as being someone who lives here at the moment, it does make me smile that it's suddenly turned on the other side. But I promise we will get it to you, and I can't wait for you guys to see it, because I'm really looking forward to that. But for now, I'm going to invite Kenneth, who's going to turn on his mic, because he might forget, to come join me. Kenneth played John Mark in the film, and as he's getting ready, just a reminder, if you are wanting to express interest, if you do want to learn more, if you want to hear me talk a little bit more about the kind of heart for the series and what we're trying to do, and also watch a different clip of the film, because that's on there as well, head to angel.com/testament, and you can do that just there. Kenneth, come on in.
Yes.
Join me over here. We'll do a little check. Can we hear Kenneth?
Can you hear me? All good?
We're good. That's
nice.
Amazing. All right, Ken, scooch up. We do have your own camera, but we can scooch up for now. Hey, man, how's it going?
Good. Excited to be here, man. Super excited.
First time on the live.
I know. I've been watching from in the room.
Yeah.
All the other lives, but I've not actually been in front of the cameras. So I'm excited to see everyone gets to see me, I guess.
And you've been on the show, but just as the pre-recorded stuff.
Exactly.
So it's good to have you here, bro.
Yeah.
So for everyone watching, Kenneth actually did the first bit of video that we ever did as Raw Light, as a company, as a UK company that wanted to make faith-based content. I wrote a spoken word called Resolutions, which talks about the new year. And I think we've got like a little video that kind of goes over, without the audio, I won't subject you to that, Kenneth, but you look very different, I have to say.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Who would have thought it?
Who would have thought it?
Not me.
Not me. A very different camera, very different. Yeah, that was. I think I set up the company, and then we're like, we have to film something. Wrote this thing, and was like, Ken, can you learn this, and can we just
get it
done? So we.
And what was that like? Just 17? But I think was that just before, because it was for the New Year, wasn't it? It was the first day.
We did it like January 15th or something, released it January 31st.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, to be the New Year. We really should have done it on January the 1st. That would have made way more sense.
We're more organised now, though, aren't we?
Yeah, we are more organised now, which is good. We learn.
Exactly. That's
how we do. So, so Kenneth, you were involved a little bit differently in this production, not only as an actor, but we did Testament. We did the film over to. Oh, we have some Andrea saying, "Hi, Kenneth. Looking forward to hearing from you."
Hello, Andrea.
All the wisdom that you have. But we did Testament over 2 weeks. And your first week was very different to your second. Tell us about that.
Yeah, no, we did it over 4 weeks. No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, 2 weeks. My bad. The first week I was behind the camera. I was, kind of just associate producer on that. So I was very much, me and Faith was just trying to make sure everything was running smoothly behind the camera, and it was just as fulfilling as the second week. I thought, it was amazing. Really got to, learn the sense of community in that first week. I loved it, like kind of sorting out people's meals and whatnot, and just talking to a lot of the crew and trying to help out in whatever way I could without getting in the way. So that was the first week. And then the second week was very funny because I think a lot of the crew didn't know that I was actually going to be in front of the camera the week after. So they'd spent the first week telling me to get all these things, and the next week they was like, "Oh, how are you?" Like, so they completely changed like the way they were towards me. But it was brilliant. It was amazing, and we really did have some of the best crew. Like, that was just phenomenal. And the
Suddenly you
cast
got
as
to
well.
ask for the coffee rather than make it.
Yeah, right? And do you know what? I enjoyed, like, in my head, I was still just like part of the crew kind of making coffee, so like, I'll just get it myself. But yeah, we had the most amazing crew and cast, and it was just a joy. Like, it was such a community, and God's presence was really there. It was amazing.
I think what we talk about when we make films, and whether it be our short films that we've made or you know, the bigger ones, or the big shorts, or the short spoken words, you know, we work with all kinds of people from all walks of life. That's part of our heart in terms of ministry as well. And you know, films themselves don't make disciples, right?
No.
The way I kind of try and break it down is they cast seeds for the gospel,
100%.
which then someone else can water, and God will give the growth. But our sets is a place where we can very much show the love of Jesus.
100%.
We can just be like, hey, you know, we love you. We just want to make sure that you have the best working day you possibly can have, no matter how long it's going to go
Exactly.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're such a fundamental, or at least on that, you to be fair, your very being is such a fundamental part of that. How do you keep that going when you're trying to run things, when you're trying to be an associate producer, when you're trying to act? How do you keep that ministry side of what we do going?
It's a great question. I think God calls everyone to be like that. So it's not something that you're meant to just switch on and off.
Great.
I think that even when you're not on set and you're just doing life, that you should be like that anyway. So if anything, I try to make it a part of my lifestyle. It's just me as me. And then work and stuff, and God kind of, hope that believe that God will use his light to shine in and through me.
We also have Faith there saying top actor about you,
Faith.
which is
Partner in crime.
Partner in crime.
Yeah.
Faith is
the person who would force me to drive to different locations.
Faith would make the food orders and then be like, Kenneth, you're driving there.
Yeah, but she would come with me, to be fair. We had a great time. So
but actually what she's saying is right, top actor, because what was beautiful, I think, this time for me, you know, I've got to hone my directing skills over the series of these short films, but on this finally, I really got to work with you as an actor.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I know we've worked with things before on auditions, we've worked with stuff on like spoken words and stuff, but this time I got to work with you, and I just have to say, for me, I mean, you're a pleasure to work with. I love it,
bro. It was a blessing, and you know what? And just on what you said previously about, like, you know, carrying on that ministry on set and stuff, I think it filters from the top down. So, you know, the foundation has to be strong, and the person who sets the foundation, in this case, which is you, is such a force, and it's a joy to be able to go, I'm following this guy's leadership, and knowing that God is using him, and just going, I'm following his leadership, and seeing how many people that it affects on set. And you're going to hate me doing this. I know you're hating this already. I'm sorry. But yeah, like, it's honestly, it comes from the top down. And I think the root has to be strong, and then it kind of filters out, and kind of the light shines. And I think that you're a massive testament to this.
See what you did there? So,
no pun intended. But so yeah, bro, that is honestly it. And working with you as professionally, I've always said that I think, I've said it from probably when we did the first Parable, I've always said that you're, in my opinion, the best up and coming director.
Oh, cheers, man. To work with you, I'll pay you later.
Yeah, I mean, and to work with you, I think we've had that great understanding from we spent a lot of time together, bro. We just have that understanding, and I think you know how to get things out of me on, you know, in front of a camera for the character that maybe wouldn't be as easy for other directors. I think you know what buttons to press and what can get the best things for the scene. And so it's just amazing to have someone that you just completely trust with your whole life, and just going, I know that by the end of this shot or the end of this day, this director is going to get the best out of me. And I think not everyone can say that. So it's a blessing in that sense.
I think what's great as well is because, you know, you and I, we do life together. You know, Kenneth is also my brother-in-law. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's also a privilege for me. So it's, wonderful to be able to work with family.
Yeah.
But to kind of see, when you're on set, you know, everyone becomes family on that time. And you do pour into each other and you do support each other and have each other's back that whole time, which is, something I know you did a lot of that with some of the other acting people.
Yeah,
that you worked with. You and Josh had a real connection.
Yeah.
Josh played the character of Luke, kind of the main character, who is
phenomenal.
Has got not nearly enough of what he deserves because he is
he's phenomenal, and it was a blessing to work alongside him. That Zichi behind the camera as well.
Zichi was amazing.
And then obviously you guys met Toy in the last.
Toy was on our last live stream. She's amazing.
She's also someone who is a massive effect on the company, on the community, and sharing that ministry. So there's so many, it's not just, there's so many of it. Yeah.
And I will say that I probably did put Kenneth through his paces, him and Josh, in a little bit called the Chase. Is what we affectionately call it. On the hottest day of last year, 2021, I think we've got a video clip as well that you can run over. We had you running all day on
the hottest day.
Yeah, on the hottest day. Do we have that clip, guys, of Ken and Josh
sprinting through London?
Sprinting through London? No, I don't think they do. Sorry,
okay.
I think there might be a little bit of a tech glitch.
Well, it's you will see it. But when you see it, you'll realise that it's actually the hottest day year.
And we've done it. Oh, you can play that over. It's no dialogue, so there you are.
Yeah, there we are.
Sprinting ahead.
And you see it once. We did that about 100 times.
You did each shot like at least 5 times. There's that great spinning shot.
And the shoes as well. Like they were very thin, like the soles of the shoes. So I'm complaining now, but it was honestly, it was probably one of my favorite days in front of the camera.
Yeah,
for sure. And me and Josh, we had bless us, we had to lean on each other that day. We were knackered, and like the other person had to help the other person get through the scene. It was such I was stoked with how it came out happy with how it came out. It was really, really amazing. Look at him, Josh.
We got this great. We didn't shoot everything chronologically, so we actually shot what happened after the chase the day before. And you guys remember we were sprinting outside to burst through the door. Yeah. And I remember going, guys, you don't need to go that hard. I don't understand. Now you guys were right. You guys were 100% right. We've got a great question from Andrea. Kenneth, will you be a part of the series as it goes forward, and in what capacity? So I will let you know. Okay. So Kenneth is also a phenomenal writer. He's written. I got actually the privilege of directing your short film that you wrote with your writing partner, and so Kenneth will be writing on the series, which is great.
Yeah, exciting.
You, Faith, and myself, the 3 of us will be writing. But also, you will be in it.
I will.
Not playing the same character. So that's an important, weird distinction that's going to happen, is that the film itself is not technically in the same kind of universe as the series, because we're going to be, resetting. I won't say what character.
No, don't. No.
Because actually we haven't confirmed it yet.
No, we can't say.
I think I know where I'm putting you.
Yeah.
Ooh. But it's cool. It's a cool one. It's one that's going to be a slow burner, grow. Like this is cool. This is really cool. So
because I don't think I've been allowed to say that I'm going to be in the series.
No, I don't
until
think so.
now. So this is the first kind of news.
Yeah. Which is great. So we're going to be talking more to Kenneth as well. Remember to head over to angel.com/testament, where you can show your support, you can express your interest, you can learn a little bit more about it. We are trying to get as much interest as possible at the moment, because when we hit that kind of numbers that we're looking at, that's when we will open the investment rounds. And do I have Andy? If Andy starts hobbling on over, and then so we're going to show you what happened after. So at the beginning of this live stream, you had 5 minutes of people going into the premiere. And then what we're going to show you is what people said coming on out of the premiere. Andy, come on, sit down, join me. Andy is our director of photography, which we're going to do a whole section with you in a bit. But I just thought it would be good to ask you, Andy, what were your feelings about to step into the cinema, about to watch Testament, that you filmed? What would have been your interview?
Probably 2 halves. One was the real excitement of here we go, Leicester Square. Big premiere, very excited. and then the other was obviously the technical problems that we'd had to work through and actually getting the whole thing exported. So I was still awake. You even less so, on probably more caffeine than me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good.
It was good. Okay, so guys, what we're going to do is we're going to show you that video of what people thought of the film. But as well, before then, I've kind of made another version of the trailer. So I can't show you the film yet, and I'm really sorry I can't, but I have given you a new trailer. So enjoy that, and then this is what people thought once they saw the film. We'll be right back.
Our Father, who is in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done.
We don't have much time in the building. I just thought it was important to say that just because of this film, so we've actually distributed now with Angel Studios, who are the same people who do The Chosen. And based off of this idea, we'll now be working with them to make a series, a TV series. I want to say thank you so much. God bless and have a very good night.
Well, I didn't know what to expect, and I am completely blown away.
It's amazing. Oh, I cannot express how I feel, but I'm just coming out of it.
It was very clever in the way that he made it intertwine.
I feel really good after having seen it. It was something that I knew was in production for a long time. So seeing all the little bits come together and then seeing this big movie is just really amazing.
It's beyond actually my expectations. It's actually just how they've managed to just create the story in such a kind of, with five parables and have an adventure thriller throughout. They've done a really good job.
I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was like, the quality was amazing. I was in tears. That when it got to the hidden like treasure bit, and I was in absolute tears. So yeah, I thought it was one of the best films I've seen. I thought it was amazing. Loved it.
First and foremost, absolutely blew away even my expectations, which were already high to begin with. I think what struck me the most, though, was just how much during some of those stories I was just utterly moved.
So encouraging, and it took the story of the early church like right into today, and you're like, wow, how am I telling the story? How am I living it? I'm really blown away by it, and I'm like, how do we get it in our local church? How do we get others to see it? Absolutely amazing.
There are so many deep challenges, there are so many important things that are going to come and keep coming from this film, and the way that it was told and being retold, it's a film that needs to be out in the world, and the fact that it's now going to be going on to TV series, yes!
It was stunning. I really loved every moment of it.
It's a film that a lot of people will find quite challenging, but also very moving. It was very funny in places as well.
All those stories have been weaved in so intricately into this bigger picture story. It was amazing, and then it's got this really uplifting end, and it's just beautiful.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really different to what I expected. It wasn't very cheesy. I was scared that it might be a little bit cheesy, but I thought it was really well done.
This is really going to speak into what we've seen in 2022, really. I think it's really going to speak to a generation, hopefully.
Please keep it up, and the gospel shall be spread.
This is something really, really special. This is really, really special.
It really brought to life the sacrifice that so many people made, 2,000 years ago. I think we take it for granted when there's a book that we could just have, but people literally get their lives to write that message down.
When you see a film and it can kind of reach into your heart and make you start tearing up and make you feel that moment and that emotions, that's something that goes above and beyond just watching whatever's on the screen for entertainment and stuff like that. And I think this film in particular has that power to actually reach into you and to teach you something that you didn't know, which is very much like the Bible.
It was nice to see the role of women in the early church not being downplayed, seeing lots of strong women characters through it. It was really, really nice to see.
It's not what you're going to be expected in so many reasons. I mean, someone said to us they were worried it's going to be cheesy, and I think there's a lot of things with Christian films, especially as a Christian, we kind of like flinch because of what's gone before, but it's nothing like that. It's nothing like what you've seen before.
It's in a completely creative, unique way, and a story that has been told thousands of times before. It just hits people's heart differently. So yeah, defo, like, there needs to be another one. 100%, 110%.
Paul's an amazing writer. He's an amazing director. I mean, everyone who was in that film was just no words. It was perfect.
Okay, so there was the reactions, and again, head over to angel.com/testament where you can express your interest. We also got someone expressing their interest with $500 from North Carolina. Thank you very much. That is truly awesome. I'm really loving all the questions that are coming in. Please keep on sending them, because I'm going to try and get to as many as I possibly can. As well, if you've got other comments, $150 from Tennessee, Lynn S. Thank you so much, Lynn. That's a real blessing. Thank you. So we are going to be talking to the man, the legend, the one, the only, Andy Toovey, who is our director of photography. Hey, Andy.
Hey, Paul.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Do you feel a little bit like a presenter?
I've definitely never done anything like this. I prefer being behind the camera.
Yeah, and now you're in front of 3 of them, so this is good. So Andy, I think before we dive into all the things about the film, I think not everyone knows what it is meant by director of photography. I've tried to give as many clues in our set design with our things behind us, but why don't you give us a little bit of a description of your job description?
Cool. Director of photography, overseeing, under of course your overall like guidance and leadership, overseeing the visual side of the film, what it looks like, the lighting, the lenses, the framing, Steadicam, as you'll be seeing in the pictures.
Oh yeah.
Just generally, if it's to do with how the film looks and how that matches up with the story and what's happening, then that kind of comes under my remit.
Okay.
And he's the only reason why we look cool, basically.
Wow, yeah. I mean, pretty much, you are. What I do love is when I got to go over to the States and show people the film, and especially even the trailer, one thing that everyone kept on saying was how incredible the cinematography was, which is just amazing, man. And you know what, guys, what is even more incredible, really, is that we actually, I know we've got a picture of this big camera over here, but we actually shot the film on this, if you just want to move it just the other way slightly. There we are. We shot on a camera just like this. A little pocket 4K camera.
There it is.
It is. There's your camera.
Very proud of that little rig.
Yeah, I mean, you actually had a big one, but you sold it to get the smaller one.
I did.
More nimble.
Nimble, yes.
Yeah.
Very keen on nimble.
Keen on nimble. But part of your when you approach a film, I know we had different conversations on all these films, what the style was, what the look was, but we were talking earlier, and you said there's a very particular reason why you choose certain things. Care to share?
Yeah, it's the practical side.
Yeah.
There's definitely a wonderful artistic side, and those discussions were definitely had. But for me, on set, when you're up against the clock and when there isn't loads and loads of days to shoot in, the most important thing is freeing you guys up, actor, director, to do what you do best, giving you as many takes as you can. So I'm all about like stripping down the gear to make it as flexible as possible, so that we can move quickly between setups. So you guys get as much time to do what ultimately is going to really get the story across. The acting, the directing, all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. We had, because obviously this is a modern retelling of Testament and the Book of Acts. We had some discussions of what that series would, what the film would look like, because it is. There's a line that I've actually. So I'm nearly finished the pilot episode of the first. Look at that, love hearts from Sheila. And just for you, Andy, well deserved, I think, because your work
Definitely.
is
incredible.
Heart.
It is.
But I've started writing the first episode, and we'll kind of get into the writing on another live stream and how we're doing, what's going on. But there's a line that I kind of had from early on, which was when someone's trying to describe what is happening, and it tries to say it's something new, yet something old, and I think that's this. Aspect of how we approached the film is we obviously are shooting on these very modern cameras, but the lens choice was they're old lenses, right?
Yep, a lot of the lenses that we used for the parables, but then also Testament, are kind of vintage lenses, not massively expensive because you can often find them on eBay. Things like old Russian lenses, made in the kind of like Soviet era, mass produced.
Yeah,
but they just
super cheap as well.
Really cheap, really cheap. And yet the character that they give the image is amazing. And you combine these kind of old vintage lenses with the new digital technology, and the combination is just something that's so kind of vivid and full of character.
Yeah, it's like, and I think when, correct me if I'm wrong, but when we say character, just because I know it sounds a bit odd when we talk about lenses and character, we're talking about like imperfections in the image, right? We're talking about things that are essentially wrong with what we're seeing, right?
Yeah.
But then going, we love that though, right? I've seen, I know there's an Instagram thing of people scratching up lenses and taking photos as if like a filter. People are like, please stop wrecking these lenses. But it's the same kind of idea, right?
Yeah, I mean, the cameras now have got to the point where, if you want to, you can zoom in and see every individual pore on Kenneth's skin.
And we do.
Please don't.
Every pore.
But then when you add these kind of nice, milky, soft, vintage lenses on, you still get a sense of the sharpness and the kind of colour of the new digital sensors, but it's combined with that character of and that warmth and that nostalgia almost, a kind of dreamy feel, which is great. I love that.
So when we filmed, you've been with us now. I met you actually on a job post that I put out for the SOA. I'm like, does anyone want to help me film this thing? Frozen. We may have. Sorry, guys, just give us. We're back. Sorry, guys, thank you so much. I've completely lost what I was talking about. Oh, yes. So you've been working with us for a while, and you've shot 5 short films and this feature kind of weave through. What have been some of your favorite moments?
Oh, so many favorite moments. But yeah, as we talked about this earlier, I think top 3 would be number 3, the sunrise in the Hidden Treasure parable. We were shooting out in the fields in Norfolk. Gorgeous place to be, middle of the summer. But obviously, like, you can't guarantee the weather, and we'd scheduled the sunrise for that one morning. And there's always a bit of a roll of the dice of like, are we going to get the weather that we need? Are all the elements going to come together? But we were up super early. Sunrise in the summer is early. One chance to get it, and we just had a glorious sunrise. It was gorgeous. Such a magical moment when he runs out of the trees into the sunrise.
It's quite dark under there, and then suddenly, as you can see again, it just opens up, and it's just the quiet as well.
Yeah.
I remember later in the day we filmed there, and there was an Apache helicopter practicing landing.
Oh wow! I missed that.
That's why we had to do 9 takes of one of the moments. Yeah. Okay, so let's next favorite moment.
So that was 3. Number 2 is the moment in Testament, the film, where Luke returns to the warehouse that's been abandoned.
Yes.
And it's quite a tense moment, but we shot it all as one take, one shot. following and down the stairs and then into this huge warehouse. It was your idea with the lights to have these kind of almost emergency beacon lights just splashing the whole room with this orange light, and he's just creeping through the shadows, and I just loved the vibe of shooting it, because it was as dark as it looks there. We had to black out windows in order to get it down dark enough. But yeah, he's creeping through the shadows, he knocks over a pipe. So atmospheric and just a lot of fun to film that. I don't know how many takes we did, but everyone was good. Was good and
you fogged it up as well. You kind of brought a lot of haze machine in.
That's right. Yeah.
Just so you could see those beams even more clearly.
Yeah.
That's why it's just putting an image in, isn't it? That's iconic. All right. So favorite moment then.
I'd love to bring a new moment, but my favourite moment was the chase
with
Kenneth and with Josh. It was such a good day filming that.
It was a good day.
It felt so collaborative.
Yeah, it was. And do you know what? Watching, because you two have the most funniest relationship, because you talk camera language. That's what I say, like language that only you two understand. And the way you guys came up with the camera spin on the day.
There it is.
You've got to explain it, like the way you guys came up. And we just watched it. It was like, how did they?
Well, it's because I was chatting to Andy and saying that there was, since the film Black Panther, there's that moment where the kind of villain of the story walks towards his throne and the whole camera spins around because, their world's been turned upside down. And I was saying to Andy, since that film came out, everyone's doing this shot. I've seen so many people, big rigs, it's so cliche. And then we're standing on that bridge. And, the shot originally was meant to be just Andy running forward as they run past. And then Andy just was like, Paul,
I'm going to run forward. Oops, the camera's tilting.
It's like, I think we may have the chance to do it.
And the amount of people that always mention that bit on the trailer.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, they was always talking about that bit, which is so funny.
Great.
It's terrible because I always hope that every shot's going to mean something for the story, but we just did that because it was cool.
It's really cool.
Well, the thing is, I've actually been thinking about that idea quite a lot, and I think I've got a few moments in Testament where, this idea of turning the world upside down is actually quite biblical. So there might be some things that we can play with.
Maybe a whole episode that is
all of it upside down,
constantly spinning.
It says please rotate your screen, and every time you do, it just keeps on going. So Andy, when head over to angel.com/testament to express your interest. Sorry, I keep forgetting, but that is really important, guys. So Andy, for this series, we will hopefully have a bit more of a budget. We'll have a bit more of a team. We will actually, before the film comes out, I'm pretty sure we will reveal what we actually made Testament for, because the price that we made the whole film for was cheaper than a lot of short films that are made. So it was quite an achievement. You're going to have a bit of a, hopefully, if people do invest, you'll be able to do some cool stuff. What would you be looking to do that you haven't been able to do before?
It might sound like a cop-out, but I actually think what's going to elevate the cinematography, the look of the film, is probably more going to be things like the locations and the costume, and being able to really pour into those things. Because like everything in filmmaking, what you see in front of the camera is a combination of so many different people's skills and areas. Obviously it would be great to be able to get some really high-end lenses, for example, something that, we talked about anamorphic lenses, the kind of character of those, we both love those. But I think ultimately a bigger budget is going to give us more resources to make everything in front of the camera. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There's definitely a choice though when we do come to lenses about making stuff feel cinematic, and that's kind of been embedded into our psyche as viewers over the last 50 years of watching these films in that cinema scope and having those imperfections that we talked about earlier. So I'm really looking forward to being able to kind of see those imperfections, those old vibes, but in something new, just to kind of, because I think the duality of this, we are very aware that this is an ancient story. This story is 2,000 years old, and we're taking it out of its time and telling it now for a very particular reason. But I think to try and really respect the duality of what's going on. So we are going to come to your questions in just a second. So do keep on writing them down if you do have any questions. But for now, I got a few of my friends, some new, some old. I don't mean by age, I mean old friends, to get together. They are all doctors of theology, who I deeply respect, and we had a really great conversation. We had about 2.5 hours conversation about all things Testament, the series, the film, the theology about it, and everything. But what we've done is we've put together a 8-9 minute clip of what they thought of the film. They got to see the film, and this was their thoughts. So here are 3 doctors and a BA. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. It'd be great to introduce everyone. I'm Paul. I'm the creator and director of Testament, the series. And if we just go around the table.
Yeah, my name's Richard Harvey. I'm a Jewish follower of Jesus. He's my rabbi. I'm a Messianic Jew. I've seen the film. I'm not an expert on it, but really thrilled to see it done.
Hi, I'm Victoria Motosho, a theology lecturer and I guess you'd call evangelical/Pentecostal traditions of Christianity. And really excited, seen the film, I thought it was brilliant, and really excited to kind of delve deeper into its meanings and significance. So.
And I'm Hugh Osgood. I guess now I'm past president of Churches Together in England. But I have a real passion for film and also just for biblical literacy. So this ticks all my boxes. So I'm really thrilled to be part of this.
So you all watched the film, that the series is kind of going to be based on that same idea. I'm just going to open it up a little bit in terms of what were your feelings watching a retelling of this famous story like that? We'll start with you, Richard.
Wow. Well, I took some notes as I was watching, and so I was getting the stories of each of the parables. I think the emotions for me, I really just enjoyed the way the stories were being told. The story of the talents with all the music and the piano and the artistic sort of sensibilities and the aspirations of the protagonists. I mean, that's just you don't normally get that with the story of the talents as you read it. But you went under the surface and you gave us the biographies of these people. You made us identify with the characters and with their struggles. The rich fool, that was an amazing... I mean, I didn't know which parable it was until she won the lottery. So that got me, that got the suspense element. And of course, Jesus tells parables because he doesn't want people to say, oh, we've heard that one before. He wants the sting in the tail. In Hebrew, the word mashal, it's like a joke. It's like a pithy response. It's like something you have to ponder, and it sort of explodes in your mouth, the taste buds. So I think that in terms of the emotional response, once you got the entertainment down, you're then taking the viewer on a journey. And I thought that was extremely successful storytelling. And that's why you want to tell these stories, to get people to say, aha, or something like that. And I thought the 2 audiences in particular, one is the people who've never heard these stories before, and so they don't know, but they will get the real point. And the other are those who are biblically literate people. They may have had their Bible and know these stories since they were at Sunday school, but they see it in a new way. And that's a success, I think, for any filmmaker.
What was really great approaching the parables, I did a lot of the exploration on those parables, and especially in the rich fool I read Jesus Through Middle Eastern Eyes, that text, and it was the Jewish understanding of the community and the betrayal of the community that the Jewish audiences would have felt when the rich fool hoarded and didn't let anyone glean or didn't let anyone take. And that kind of betrayal that was, the writer of the book was kind of portraying. I was like, my goodness, that's something that I've missed. And I know this story and I've read it. And I was like, we need to establish the community. And I think Faith did a fantastic job writing all these, wonderful people that our rich fool ultimately betrays.
Yeah. So if that was a theology essay, you'd say you've done some good original exegesis. You've actually gone into the world of the text and unpacked it and looked at the social aspects of it. And then you've done an interpretation which has made it real for your audience today. And not only that, you've talked in language of contemporary culture in a way that we enjoy it and understand it. And I think, Yeshua, Jesus, that's why he told his parables.
I love that also, that idea of Jesus telling parables in relation to what people knew, telling the parables in within their world. And I think that's a great kind of, again, tool that, that is used in terms of film when we retell it in our world. For me, personally, when I saw the film, I think the parable of the sower, that was, like being delivered as a free gift. And it did make me, even as a, long time churchgoer, rethink. And the people that missed it, with busyness, with emails, and it kind of then re-examines like, wow, like when have I, missed what God is trying to say because, I'm busy and I've been distracted by this and that, and just framing that within this world that we live in of everyone's on the move. It really did actually make me rethink the whole salvation story, that this is a free gift, and yet so many things can deter us from receiving that gift as well. So again, like using film as that within that framework was a bit of a revelation to me as well, I think.
I thought the stories, the way I was aware that what we were going on was retelling the parables rather than trying to explain them or come up with some clever version, which might have actually distorted the truth, because Jesus, in some ways, told them as open stories. Some of you will get this, some of you won't. And I think that was really good because it forced us back to think. But the one that really got me, if you want to know, was the hidden treasure. I just thought there are a few films that make me cry. If I'm honest, I cry in Cool Runnings most time when they break down in the tunnel, and there's one or two others when I do. Generally, I don't cry, but I must admit I came close at that point because, as you said, Victoria, it brings it back to you. It's like saying, "Where are you at on this journey?"
And I think even as a filmmaker, I mean, I assume that's what you want your audience to connect to. At the end of the day, I think with kind of, especially with Christian filmmaking, I think there's a point where it moves just beyond kind of, oh yeah, that was a great movie. Great, thanks. But actually you want it also to, I think, to sow a seed of some kind, both in people who are of faith and people who aren't of faith. For people who aren't of faith, to be like, let me investigate this Jesus a bit more.
I mean, I actually, at the London premiere, was sitting in a row where, there were quite mixed people in terms of biblical experience. And what you were saying about, the impact that can come just from the quality was really, really definitely there. And people who didn't know any of the stories were going back and saying, tell me the stories, because they'd been intrigued.
Yeah, my first impression was the grittiness and the grunginess of it. Yeah. And I thought, oh, that's good. It's not sentimentality. Yeah. But I thought the production values, and I'm not professional in this, but I just appreciated the dialogue, the characterization, the pacing, the filming, the things that I know a little bit about. And I realized that, this is a quality product that you've put out here, which should stand against all the others in the market. But then, again, agreeing with you both, it's then your responsibility to tell the story as best you can. And every attempt of communication is a different form of failure, T.S. Eliot said. So I don't think anybody of us can succeed fully. No, of course. But you then let the Bible tell the story for itself. And I think what you're saying about we're having to relearn these parables all the time, whether we've been a believer in Yeshua, disciple for 1 year or for 50 years, we keep having to hear the message afresh.
And not get comfortable, not get lazy in it.
Yeah,
but actually...
so the tractor in the field and the that's a wonderful thing, because it makes me go right back to, when I first thought of seriously asking Yeshua to be my Messiah and Lord, and I thought, but I'm Jewish. This is not what I'm supposed to do, and what are my parents going to think, and what's it going to cost? And then I see that parable today and I think, yeah, I've still got to count the cost. I've still got to say, is it worth selling everything I have and buying the field? And the answer is yes. But that pulled it out from me again as I was watching it.
Phone is off. David, are we back on? We're back on. That was a short clip sorry about that, guys. Short clip of three of my friends chatting about a testament and with their PhDs and everything in theology. It's very, very, very cool. So the question of this live stream was, wasn't this a movie? And the answer of this live stream is yes, and more. Very, very simple. Which is why we're asking people to express their interest, because the movie's finished, but what we're doing now is we're gauging interest to when we open that investment round for people to invest, and we can use that then to make season 1 of Testament, the series, which will start from the day of Pentecost and journey through the book of Acts. Which is going to be really exciting. I've kind of started mapping it out. It's very, very, I'm super excited. I think you guys are going to love it. So we are going to answer some questions. So if you put that up, but I know there's been some people talking about The Chosen, and is this The Chosen, or is this different, or is Dallas involved, or is Dallas seen this? I don't know. I have no connection to Dallas myself. Maybe he has, but what I would say is that we've asked for a long time, I think, as believers, for more Christian media, for more films, for more TV series, for more things that we want to watch. And I think it would be I mean, I love The Chosen. I absolutely adore it. I watch it.
We watched
I got him into it. It took me a while, but we binged it when we were in Spain.
You got me into it as well.
Did I get you into it?
Yeah.
Look at that. It's a great show. I really am passionate about it. But wouldn't it be a shame if there was just one show or one thing that came out that was just the one thing that appealed to only that audience? What I would love to see is that there are more creators, more shows like Testament, but also there's the Shift film. There's other films that are being made outside of Angel. I just want a chorus of movies, of series, of everything to come out and to actually glorify God and point people back to God. I think that's such an exciting time to be in, that we can actually be in a position going, hey, hold on, you're talking about more than one thing now. It's like, yes, we are. For me, I'm excited. That's a passion of mine. I want to see this industry grow. I want to see more of this content.
That way we can reach more people, all kinds of people as well.
Exactly.
Which is amazing.
Because believe it or not, to us it's crazy, but not everyone loves The Chosen. And I already know that not everyone loves Testament. I'm sure, because that would be ridiculous if 100% of people liked it. But what we want is the people who do love it to watch it. So enough of that. What are our questions? So we have, Narayan, if you are recasting actors for the characters from Testament the movie, which casting you feel should be retained for Testament the series? So the Testament the movie now is going to kind of sit in its own little world. So we are resetting. That's not going to Testament the series isn't a prequel. They are two separate things. It's the same idea, the same IP, but really we want to kind of start again and tell this story as fully and as properly and as most detailed as we can. Testament, the parables retold, is doing something different. The theme of it is storytelling and what it means to tell stories. So you were John Mark.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now.
I'm not going to be John Mark in this.
You're not going to. Andy's going to play John Mark. No.
I'm playing Tent Guy. I'm reprising my role as Tent Guy.
Andy was in there. He was a little cameo on the clip that you saw, actually.
Every week.
You're in it every week.
The commission just keeps rolling in.
Okay, we have from Sheila. Andy, how long have you been doing this? And is this something you majored in?
I've been doing it about 10 years, and I came in the back door, randomly to filmmaking, really. I was doing graphic design for a few years, and then did an animation for a client because I thought that can't be too hard. I do still images. How hard can it be to make them move? Turns out very hard. So for the next video project that came off the back of that, I was like, I need a camera. And it just went from there, really. Started making short films with a friend locally, just a few of us, and just learning from YouTube tutorials and mainly just from shooting stuff, really.
Yeah.
So yeah,
wow.
I mean,
that's the journey.
I mean, Kenneth. Also, I started out as an actor. We trained as actors, and I always see drama school as like a safe place to fail for 3 years. You know, it's a place to do the practicing. But if you can get in the industry and start working, it's just practicing what you do.
Yeah.
I love that. There we are. That's the answer. Do we have another question? Marianne again. Hello. Curious to know what "our nets will be his story" phrase means from your trailer and the spiritual significance or verse. David W from Texas, $1,000. Thank you, David. That's I think actually 1,000 deserves like a woo. That was just me. It was just me, David. But that was from me and from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. So Narayan, yes, our nets will be his story. I don't really want to ruin it too much because it is like the key line of the film, but I will link it into the call that Jesus gives to Peter, which is, "Follow me and I will make you fishers of men." And since the day of Pentecost, his apostles and his disciples and his followers have been fishing for men. And I guess the question that I would pose is, what have they been fishing with? So I hope that helps, and I hope that intrigues, and maybe answers a bit too much that I intended, but that was it. Did I get it right? Yeah, that was enough?
That was actually pretty
nice.
I'm intrigued.
You are?
And I've seen the film.
Franklin, where is this filmed? This is filmed in London, in the United Kingdom, in England. We filmed it all here, didn't we?
Apart from the Hidden Treasure.
It's still in England. Oh, but it's not in London. Yes, it was in Norfolk. We went up to Norfolk to do that. So yeah, we're planning to film the series here as well. We're based here, and actually it's a passion of mine, I know yours as well, to see, and yours as well, to see faith-based content kind of rise up here in the UK. What's amazing about the US is you have loads of it, which is great, made over there.
And talking about the series, if you're excited, please express your interest by going to angel.com/testament. I've always wanted to do that, and I've done it. Cool.
Right, Andy, you've got to work it in at some point during these next few minutes.
I don't think I can pull off Kenneth's
That was good.
style.
I thought you might have fumbled it there. But
I just about caught it.
You clipped it. Yeah. Well done. I also really, Andrea Newell, I did a woo for that. I love that. Thank you. Kenneth, from Sheila, how long have you been acting, and have you done anything outside of the Christian community?
So I've been acting, I went to drama school 2013, graduated 2016, and then been acting since 2016. So I'm not great at maths, but since then. I've done a lot, mainly a lot of theatre, work, which is obviously outside the Christian community in terms of the plays I've done, which has been great. I think we speak about this all the time, how God kind of calls people within the faith community, and even you look at the Bible, and a lot of these disciples are sent out to be light in dark spaces, and that's kind of what it is when I'm doing that work. And to answer your question, been acting since 2016, and I have done work outside the faith community.
Yeah, great question. What do we have as well? We have Narayan. Would we also see Mark doing his own set of recordings or taking notes like Luke? Narayan, the thing is, Narayan, you are coming up with some incredible questions.
They are.
And questions I just simply can't answer because you're very astute at this and you're getting very, very close to the plot of our film. So I'm not going to answer you, but I hope my answer has answered you. You may see some of that in the film, and who knows, the series might delve into those things differently. I loved what some of you guys said. Sheila said, I love accents. See, for us, we don't have one, but I guess we do in some way. I love that someone there said, this feels like a community, and that's exactly what we want. We want this to be a community, we want this to be the Testament family, and to do that, head over to
angel.com/testament.
Yeah.
Where you can express your interest, and hey, we want to get this ball rolling. Do share it. Follow us on our YouTube, or subscribe, or follow us on our Facebook or Instagram. Use the hashtag Testament Series to send in questions and stuff. I know I haven't been able to get to everyone's questions, and I'm sorry, and I will, if you write them in the comments, I'll try and reply as we go. But right now, to round us off, what we're going to do is we've actually done a couple of other screenings here in the UK. I know this is feeling like such a betrayal, isn't it? But in the UK, we can screen it to like groups. That's kind of in our license we're allowed to do. So we have been doing that. And I've kind of gone to a few and had a chat with some of them, got some what people thought of the film, what people would be excited for in the series. So here is, to round us off, this is the finale. This is us saying goodbye. But do have a look at what people thought of the film. And if you've still got time, head over to angel.com/testament. We will see you, not in 2 weeks. We're not doing a live stream in 2 weeks, but we'll see you in 3 weeks' time for a live stream. Until then, we'll be putting out other sorts of content. But do keep in touch. We love you all. Have an amazing, amazing day, night, wherever you are, whatever time it is. God bless you. We love you.
Take care.
Here in Diss, near Norfolk, for the town screening of Testament. So I'm here in Lewisham, going to Ecclesia Church, London City Mission, where they have just screened Testament. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to have a little Q&A with the team.
Just watched a film called Testament, and I thought it was a fantastic film. Really well done.
I've just watched the film Testament, and I've just been blown away.
Brilliant. Actually, no, I really enjoyed it, more than I thought I was going to, because I've seen a lot of Christian films in the past, and get that. Yes, they're good and they've got heart and everything, but this was something different.
I've seen it now twice, and I thought it was even better the second time than the first, and I really want to see it again the third time. So, loved it. Really, really good. Really brilliant film.
Saw a trailer, and I was like, okay, this looks interesting. It's a British-made film, which, again, I didn't expect, because we don't get a lot of British faith-based content being created. And then just watching the trailer, and I was like, okay, we're going to have to see how this one sits, where it lands. And then I watched the film and I'm just like, actually, you guys nailed it.
It was an excellent film. I enjoyed when you did the Lord Prayer.
Now after watching it, I was really encouraged, to be honest with you. I thought it was modern. Like, we don't really have much biblical films that are based on like a modern urban setting. So I really liked the fact that you could relate with it in a different way.
I just watched Testament. That's what was really good. It was really good to watch it from a modern perspective.
Well, the whole film was exciting.
You know, really, I'm really encouraged, really blessed by the content, really encouraged by the fidelity, the faithfulness of the presentation, the way in which the stories were retold, but with relevance today, but also well referenced and anchored in the actual original story.
It was about retelling the stories and not being afraid to retell those stories, because those stories are in the Bible, which is God's word. They are true.
That was challenging. Especially when you've been a believer for a minute now. Let me not say how long.
Making me think, how do people nowadays spread the word? How do people nowadays give Bibles out? We're lucky to not have to hide the things we do.
We just like to relate with things and identify with things, just as humans. So I think one of the benefits is even your non-Christian friends could come and, the cultural gap isn't as big. So it's just easy for people just to understand concepts a bit easier. And I think I remember you saying just great opportunity for, your non-Christian friends to just speak to you after, dig deeper in the words.
It just connects with people who haven't read the Bible, who haven't had an opportunity to be taught these things from a young age. So it just brings a completely relevant contemporary twist on what Jesus taught.
We are over 2,000 years removed from the original events happening, to the extent that for people often reading the scriptures, it's so far from their reality. And so being able to bring it into the modern day and into their reality in ways that they can relate to, and therefore better understand, is price. That's the baton being passed.
For like a visual learner like myself, it brings it more to life, and the experience is just of knowing the story from like reading it and then having it like in front of you as a film. It's like, wow, yeah, that really happened. So just keeps it real, really.
Illustrates the point. It illustrates the point, the biblical message being put through, without even the viewers or listeners or knowing that, oh, this is a biblical principle here, this is biblical truth here that's being illustrated in the very contemporary setting.
I think people can understand the relevance of the gospel, of the message of the Bible. Because it is still relevant.
It's a film that turns people's attention to the Word and fundamentally towards Christ. And so that in and of itself is powerful. And on that level, it's necessary. Yeah, keep doing